Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered how does Netflix know that you are watching from a mobile phone or instead of laptop? How does it automatically show different layout for phone, tablet, TV or computer? How does Netflix know whether your internet is slow or not? How does it decide whether to stream in 480p or 720 or 1080 or even 4K? And how does it make sure that nobody illegally downloads his movies? Today, we'll answer these questions all in this video. And by the end of this video, you will understand what happens from the moment you open Netflix until the movie starts playing. This video is designed for everyone, and if you are not from an IT background, don't worry. I'll explain you every technical term with simple real-life example, and if you are a developer too, you will understand the technologies working behind the scenes. So let's begin with our video. So imagine you are entering an airport. Before entering the airport, security asks several questions like who are you? Where are you coming from? What documents do you have? Similarly, the moment you open Netflix, your browser or app send a request to Netflix server. Like as you can see in the first step, we are starting by opening the Netflix app. So Netflix doesn't immediately send us into the home page. So before going into the home page where we will see the list of the movies, first it gathers information about our devices. And then the next thing that comes after that is the DNS. So DNS stands for Domain Name System. So for this one to understand about it, suppose your friend lives in Kathmandu. You remember his name but not his house number. So you ask someone, where does Manoj live? They tell you the exact address. So DNS works exactly like that. So we just remember the domain, that is netflix.com. But actually, if we talk about the website, the Netflix, then it does not lie in that domain. So computer has different way of remembering things. That is, the computer communicate using IP addresses like 52.121.71.23, which consists of 4 decimal point, and then each point have got octets. So the DNS will convert the netflix.com into the IP address. So without DNS, your browser won't know where Netflix live on the browser. After that, we have got another thing called as IP address. Let us understand about that also. So IP address here, IP means Internet Protocol. So think of an IP address as the house address of a computer. So every device is connected to the internet has an IP addresses. Even if you look at a mobile phone, your mobile phone also have got an IP address. So if you go to the Wi-Fi and then look about the Wi-Fi details over there and device detail over there, you can see there the IP address assigned to your device. So Netflix uses your IP address to know your approximate country, which language will be shown, which movie library is available, which CDN server is the nearest one. It does not know your exact house from the IP alone, but it can estimate your region, like where you are living, in which country you are living. So it can know several examples about you or several details about you. Then after that, we will talk about the HTTPS. Now, your browser knows what Netflix is due to DNS. But imagine sending your ATM pin through an open postcard. Anyone could read it. Instead, we use an envelope. HTTPS is a secure envelope. That is, whenever we talk about HTTPS, it helps us to recognize whether the person who is accessing that netflix.com, that Netflix website, is a verified person or not, or a verified user or not. So here HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That is, this is the protocol used for communication between browser and the server. And where HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. The only difference between HTTP and HTTPS is that HTTPS is secure than HTTP. Why? Because the secure version encrypts the communication. So, Netflix never send your password in plain text. Whatever the data flows between the browser and the server is always in encrypted form. As you can say that everything is encrypted during that flow. So, and what helps in that then? So that's why you will often hear about SSL and TLS, where SSL means secure socket layer and TLS means the transport layer security. So SSL is the older technology while TLS is the modern version, and this technology will help to encrypt all the communication. So just now we have talked about that. Remember that everything that flows between browser and server are all encrypted. So that all the encryption is done with the help of SSL and TLS. And this can be found in HTTPS, not in HTTP only. So hackers cannot read your password while traveling across the internet. Now, Netflix want to know who is requesting the page. The browser automatically introduces itself to the Netflix server. Means Netflix server must have to know the user or the entity whoever is trying to access that server. So that introduction given to the server is called as the user agent. So think of it as an ID card. It tells Netflix that I am Chrome, I am running on Windows, I am an Android phone, I am Safari running on an iPhone. In this way, the browser or app introduces itself to the server. So from this, Netflix already get a strong clue whether the device is a mobile or a desktop. So from this one, your first answer has been cleared. Then, after that, the next step is imagine visiting a hotel where the reception gives you a room card. Next morning, they don't ask your name again. They remember you. So cookies work similarly. That is like you just remembered, yes or no? Your reception will remember you from the room card. Same like that, cookies also works by remembering that card which is given to us. So what is cookies then? Cookies are tiny files stored inside your browser. Netflix uses them to remember our login status, whether we have been logged in or not, our preferred language, which language do you want, like English or any other languages, whether we want to continue watching some movies or not, it will remember our theme. Same like that, the recommendation which is delivered to us through Netflix recommendation system, that is also done with the help of cookies. So without cookies, you might need to log in repeatedly. So cookies help you to be logged in into the platform. Just for example, if you're using Facebook also, in Facebook also, you should not have to log in into the system again and again. So that kind of thing happen because of cookies. Now let us talk about the operating system also. So operating system, like we have got a lot of thing over here, but let's talk about OS over here. So operating system, which is also known as operating system, the full form. Example of operating system are Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Android, iOS. The operating system control all hardware and software devices. So Netflix learn which operating system you are using some different feature of Netflix. So operating system help to differentiate between the platforms, like from which platform are we accessing can be known with the help of this. Same like that, we have got browser also, and the examples of browser are Chrome, Edge, Safari, etc. Different browsers support different video technologies. Some support HDR, some support AV1, some don't. Netflix adjusts accordingly. So in every kind of browser, Netflix doesn't show this video in the same format. There are different file format for showing that video. The same like that, we have to talk resolution also. We know that every devices do not have got the same resolution. So what is resolution then? Resolution means how many tiny dots called pixel exist on your screen. So have you noticed that in some of the screen we see the video clearly, but the same video in some screen doesn't look clear. So because more pixel means more sharper picture. For example, if your phone resolution is 390 into 844, your laptop will be 1920 into 1080, your TV will be 3840 into 2160. Netflix chooses an interface suitable for the screen. And next one, we have got touch capability. So how it happens then? Netflix checks whether the device supports touch or not. So touch screen, probably if the Netflix find that the screen is touch screen, then it will be a mobile or a tablet. And if it is not a touch, it probably might be a desktop. But it's not the only clue. Yes, because we know that nowadays we have got such kind of desktop, a laptop, which have got touch screen. So Netflix combine menu clue and then find out whether this is a laptop or a Android phone or something else. Same like that, Netflix also knows our device model. So when using the Netflix app, the app can tell Netflix like it is Samsung Galaxy S25, it is an iPhone, it is a Sony TV or Xbox or PlayStation. Because apps have more access to hardware than website. But and this thing only happens means the device model can be sent to the server only with the mobile applications because applications have more knowledge about hardware than the website. The website cannot directly access our hardware resources. As well as the CPU also works in this process. How? First, let us know the full form. The full form of CPU is Central Processing Unit, which is also called as the brain of our computer, and it performs calculations. So Netflix checks whether your processor is capable of handling smooth video playbacks or not, while it can also check about the GPU, which full form is Graphics Processing Unit. The GPU is specialized in graphics and video. You might have seen that we have a different kind of video format whenever we are seeing Netflix. Sometimes it renders in 720, sometimes in 1080, or sometimes it can render in 4K also. So that can differ according to GPU too. So instead of making the CPU decode every video frame again and again, Netflix let the GPU do that work. And the benefits? Yes, CPU consumes more battery, more heating, and less smooth playback and lower frame rate. While GPU consumes less battery, less heating, there will be smoother playback and higher frame rate. Means if we use GPU for rendering videos, it will be much more clearer than CPU. That's why nowadays different kind of AI runs with the help of GPU because GPU is faster than CPU. We can tell like that. As well as there is an important aspect of RAM also. The RAM is random access memory. RAM is a temporary memory and think of RAM as a study table. A bigger table that lets you keep more book open. More RAM means more multitasking and smoother tasking over there. That is, your video will run smoothly if you have got more RAM in it. While DRM means Digital Rights Management. Let us understand with an example. Suppose you buy a movie ticket. Only ticket holders can enter, right? So DRM is Netflix Digital Ticket Checker. It prevents illegal copying of movies, and without DRM, people could easily pirate Netflix content. So Netflix content a DRM which helps to check whether it is legal to deliver the videos to the user or not, whether it is legal to download the videos or not. It prevents the user for downloading the videos. While another important thing is to know about the codec. So the full form codec is coder and decoder. So we know that the movies which were see in Netflix, they are extremely large. A 4K movies can be 100 gigabyte. If we talk about a normal 720p movies only, then it will be around 2 to 3 GB. But if we talk about the 4K, it can go up to several hundred, like 200 or 300 gigabyte. So a codec compresses the video before sending it. Your device compresses it while watching. And the popular codec example are H.264, HEVC, AV1, VP9, and newer codec provide better quality using less internet. So codec help to deliver better frames or better videos over there. While the video's quality also depend upon the network speed. So Netflix continuously measure bandwidth, latency, packet loss, and if your internet slows down, Netflix automatically lowers video quality. This prevents the Netflix from buffering. So whenever you are looking video in Netflix or in YouTube, you might have noticed that sometimes the video quality will suddenly go down. That is because in the background they are continuously checking for our network quality. That's why they try to adjust themselves according to network so that user will get the best experience. While the next one is AVR, which full form is adaptive bitrate streaming. Suppose you are driving uphill, you automatically shift to a lower gear. Similarly, Netflix changes from 4K to 1080 or 720 or 480 depending upon your internet speed. This happens while your video is playing, and that video quality is chosen with the help of AVR. First, it detects the network, then codec will compress the video, that is a different thing. Network detect the quality, and then AVR will help to choose us the best video quality to look in that particular situation. While the final decision has to be done. Now Netflix combine everything, the user agent, let's look from the first, it will combine the user agent, that is from which browser or operating system we're accessing it. It will know the operating system, it will know the browser, it will detect the touch, it will detect the screen size, it will detect the device model, then there is DRM, codec, then CPU, GPU, RAM, internet speed, IP address, cookies, and then finally it will decide whether it is a mobile layout or a tablet layout or a desktop layout or a smart TV layout or a gaming console layout along with best streaming capacity. So after all this thing, it will deliver us the final UI and we can watch the Netflix movies. So when you click the Netflix icon, far more happens than simply opening a website. Your device first discovers Netflix server using DNS, establish a secure connection using HTTPS, using TLS, and then share information such as user agent, operating system, screen resolution, touch capability, browser, hardware capabilities, and network condition to the server. Netflix combine all of these signals, not just one, to identify your device and deliver the most suitable interface, streaming quality, and security. This entire process usually takes only a fraction of a second, but it involves networking, web development, operating systems, cybersecurity, multimedia processing, and cloud computing working together seamlessly. And after all this thing, I hope you all the answers has been cleared, whatever you are trying to search in this video. So thank you.